Well, hello and welcome. I am not Mike Marshev, but I will be introducing him in just a few minutes. I, in fact, am Nolan Burris from Future Proof Travel Solutions. I'm a fellow speaker, occasional co-presenter, and a good friend of Mike Marshev. And I'll be kicking things off here and helping out a little bit behind the scenes today. But first, I have a couple of very simple housekeeping tips for you. If you can't hear me, well, I guess that also means you won't be able to hear me tell you how to fix it. However, if suddenly those of you who can hear me all of a sudden can't, here's what to do. So first of all, you can listen through your computer or by telephone, and if one method stops working all of a sudden, or it starts echoing, or you just get bored, try the other. And over on the right side of your screen, there's a place to click that lets you switch between telephone or computer. Now, if you click phone, it's going to pop up some phone numbers. One is for the USA and one is for Canada, so make sure you pick the right one so you don't get any unexpected long-distance charges. And, of course, if you're listening through your computer, that's completely free. Now, speaking of hearing things, I can't hear you, and that's probably a good thing because that keeps barking dogs, bad music on hold, and embarrassing personal noises from interrupting all the fun. So since we have limited time and a lot of you on the line today, we won't be taking live questions. However, you can email Mike anytime you feel like it at mike@mikemarshev.com, and one of these days he'll probably get back to you. So the slides are going to be changing automatically, although at this point it hasn't happened yet. I'll let you know when it should so you'll know if things are working fine. But if after that they still aren't changing, you have three choices. Choice number one, go buy a new computer, but you probably don't have time for that. Choice number two, try quitting everything, rebooting and reconnecting. That often works. And choice number three is probably the smart one. Just sit back and listen because we are recording everything anyway, and all of you are going to get a link to the recording after it's all done. So now that slide is about to change, and it's going to change to something very, very important. We want to send a big, gigantic thank you out to our friends at Travel Research Online, the Travel Institute, for making all this possible. And this all includes Richard Earls, Amanda Knapp, Carla Smith, Pat Gagnon, and way more people than I can mention. You all absolutely rock. But most of all, we want to say thanks to AMA Waterways, the king of river cruising, and Mike will be talking about that a little bit more in just a few minutes. So a little bit about this guy who's going to be presenting to you today. Mike Marshev is truly a groovy guy, and he doesn't know just how smart he really is. He thinks you all signed up just because he's a good-looking fella, but I know better than that. He's been in the travel business longer than any of us can imagine, and he knows the business extremely well. He even has a certificate or two from the Travel Institute to prove it. His specialty is marketing and sales and making people laugh their way to success. And he makes me laugh just about every time I talk to him on the phone. So, okay, another slide change is coming up. This is your opportunity to make sure everything is still working. And it's another important one. Mike, go back. You went the wrong way. I want to tell you, you can tell who's pushing the buttons now, right? I want to tell you just a little bit about Mike's Inner Circle. Mike's Inner Circle is a very cool program that you can sign up for where you can learn from the master himself and have a good time all at once. And one of his Inner Circle members, Joe Santoni, who happens to be on this call, he said, Mike keeps me motivated to excel at what I love to do. He cuts through the BS and he tells it like it is. So Mike's going to tell you a little bit more about that program later, but I'm telling you, it is awesome. So today, go to the next slide, Mike, I am Mike's wingman. I also want to be sure that you know about a fun little internet show that Mike and I do called the Mike and Nolan Show at mikeandnolanshow.com. If you ever need a good laugh, you want some free tips or whatever, check it out. We try to add something new every couple of weeks or so. And speaking of free, next slide, Mike, I couldn't let Mike be the only one giving away something for free. So let's take a look at one of my slides here, and it tells you about something we're doing over on my website. We have a nifty video training series we call the Virtual Boot Camp. It's 20 video courses on just about everything you need to know to succeed in travel today. And lucky you, you can listen to the first module totally free. And then if you like it and want more, we are giving all of Mike Marshev's friends and fans a nice little discount on the other courses in the program. So to get your freebie, you go to mikemarshev.com/VBC. That stands for Virtual Boot Camp. So okay, the housekeeping is done. We have thanked everyone, and I have shamelessly promoted myself. So now I am going to hand controls back over to the man of the hour. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mr. Mike Marshev.
Hey, thank you, Nolan. Thank you very, very much for opening things up. Ladies and gentlemen, we have so many people on the line today that I figured I needed a wingman, and who better than Nolan Burris to start things off. Thank you, Nolan, and thank you for the people who made this possible. Which brings me to my first point, folks. It takes a lot of people to make your business grow, and sales nugget number one, hook up to people you can trust. Hook up with people you like. Hook up with people you can count on. And those are called preferred suppliers and your mentors or whoever they are. But you can't go alone. You can't do this thing alone. There's too much competition. There's too much noise. There's too much action going on. You need a team today. So if you don't have one, I strongly recommend you hook up with the preferred suppliers that you can hang your hat on. And with that being said, last year I had an experience. I took a river cruise, and I had such a great time. I got off this thing marveling at how cool it was, and I immediately thought how this could affect the travel industry in the years to come. So I put together a kit called the How to Sell River Cruises in a Box. Now, there's an old saying, how do you win a horse race? Well, you win a horse race by jumping on a fast horse. That's how you win a horse race. You jump on a horse that can run fast. Well, how do you run a business? You run a business by hooking up with people who can help you run the business. Now, it goes on, my theory on this river cruising concept is let's go with the flow. Let's go with a positive trend. Let's go with something that's happening. And river cruising, ladies and gentlemen, is happening. And now is the time, if you want to grow your business, to hook on to the strategy I'm going to share with you today. It's not necessarily limited to river cruising, although we're going to use river cruising as the perfect example. Reason being that if you want to catch fish, use good bait. Use shrimp. You can use worms if you want, but if I want to catch a fish, I will go out and I'll buy and I'll use good bait. Well, the river cruise, folks, is the best bait, if you want to call it that, there is today. I mean, look how many people are on this webinar today. We had close to 600 people, 650 actually, registered for the program today. Most travel webinars are in the 50 to 100 range. The river cruise is a great hook, not only for you, but for your marketplace. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to show you how you can use the river cruising concept to get in to become more visible in your marketplace. Now, make no mistake about it. We're going to be talking about how to sell river cruising in a box. That's what we're going to be talking about. But I want you to look through my words, look past the webinar, and see how this strategy, if you will, can affect you and the growth of your business. It's the strategy I'm sharing with you today. This is a marketing seminar, and it's the strategy I want you to connect with, and I want you to see how logical and how easy the concept of river cruising will be to plug into your strategy. Now, the only reason I put that picture up there with my picture on is because there's so many people, new names, registered. I didn't recognize a lot of names, so I just wanted to put a face to the name as we move on this afternoon. What I'm frightened of, not necessarily the folks I know out there, because I know that you're serious, hardworking professionals. I know who you are. But there's a lot of people I don't know who I'm frightened tuned in today to find the magic pill. I mean, I want the easy way to make a lot of money selling river cruises. Well, Unfortunately, folks, there is no magic pill. Now, I hesitate to tell you that, but there's going to be some activity involved in this. Now, notice I didn't call it work. I called it activity. Digging a hole in Phoenix, Arizona, in 115 degrees, I classify that as work. Getting on the telephone, talking with people, researching destinations, that's not work to me. Those are activities. So I'm going to walk you through an activity that if you adhere to it, if you can connect with my words, if you can connect with this strategy, you will find that it indeed works for you. So today we're going to be talking about how to sell more river cruises, but read through it. It could be how to sell more Alaska, how to sell more Bermuda, how to sell more Europe, how to sell more South America. You can use this strategy in a lot of different ways if by chance river cruising doesn't float your boat. There you go. How's that? So if you haven't done so, I want you to download the kit, and the kit is downloaded at mikemarshev.com/river cruising. While I think of that, I want to remind the folks on the phone today that if you're using the telephone to listen to me, go back to the GoToWebinar page and make certain that you're using the right telephone number. There's an American number, USA, and there's a Canadian number. I just hate for somebody to be dialing in the wrong phone number and absorb the charges of an international call. So please go back, make sure you're on the US number or the Canadian number. Then download MikeMarshev.com, River Cruising. You'll be able to get the kit instantly, which I'm going to explain to you in a moment what the kit is all about. But first, I want to tell you why we're doing this. Why are we taking river cruises? Well, Condé Nast Traveler, it's a well-known magazine, they say that it's the fastest growing segment of the cruise industry. So let's jump on to the trend that's moving quickly. That's why I want you to move on it quickly now, because pretty soon you'll be doing something else. You'll be going to Mars or the moon or whoever. I don't know what the next trend is going to be. But right now, river cruising, according to Condé Nast, is the fastest growing segment. So let's jump out in front of the parade. It's rolling. It's happening. Let's play a part. And the baby boomers, I can't quote the exact numbers, but more and more people. Listen, we've been on the 4-day cruise. We've been on the 7-day cruise. We've been to Cancun. We've been to Alaska. We've been through the Panama Canal. We took a little Mediterranean cruise. And now what? Well, now it's time for the river cruise. It's a logical sequence. And the baby boomers, the numbers are there. We've been doing everything for the last 20 years. We're looking for something new, and river cruising is it. And the river ships, again, according to Condé Nast, are rated higher than seagoing ships and with better itineraries. And let's face it, I love ocean-going cruise ships. I speak on them. My wife and I travel. But when we get to a destination, this could come as a shock to you, we don't get off. We would rather be on the ship by the pool alone than get off, because a beach is a beach, a jewelry store is a jewelry store, a trinket shop's a trinket shop. I mean, you see one, you see them all from a cruise ship, by my definition. But you go to Wilshofen, you go to Regensburg, you go to Vienna, you go to Budapest. Don't tell me those places are the same. It's all different. It's all wow factor. River cruising has that wow factor because it's so new to us and it's so easy. Now, they say that the cabin and the food they prefer on the big ships, but I'm telling you, the food is absolutely extravagant. I mean, according to me, it was fantastic. And I always say, how shiny does a doorknob have to be? How good does the food have to be? I mean, what are you looking for? It's good. It's perfect. It's great. And it's going to get better. And on river cruises, they're saying, I think they're putting more and more money into them, the pools, the walk-up bars, the jacuzzis, the exercise rooms. They are starting to build newer ships to adhere to some of the things that some people found short on river cruises. But talking to me, I never found anything short. And here's another reason why we're talking about river cruises, folks, because you can make more money selling them. Now, I talked to an agent the other day, and he said he had a room of 8 people. 40% of that, he said 3 couples bought cruises, riverboat cruises, cabins, and he was making $1,700 on each one. Now, you roll the numbers out yourself, $1,700 on a cabin on a river cruise with the snowball going downhill, with the action stepping up. if I were you, I would start focusing on this strategy. Not because it's fun, not because it's new, but because I can make more money. And I assume you're in this business to eat regularly. I think that's what we're all doing. We're trying to make a few bucks so we can pay our insurance bills and eat regularly and have a good time. And river cruising is exactly where it's going to be coming from. So here's the strategy. And then I'm going to walk you through the box, and then I'm going to send you back to work. You give before you get. We have to step out into the marketplace and give ourselves before they're going to give us anything. It's a give before you get strategy. We have to give something of value to our marketplace before they will give something back to us in the form of a transaction. It's called the marketing two-step. It's as old as the hills, but it works. You see it all the time. What can I do for you so you get more comfortable with me, and then we can talk business? It's going to position you as the go-to source because not only are you intelligent, not only are you knowledgeable, not only are you fun to be around, and you have a good personality, but you're the one doing it because your competition's not doing it. They're waiting for the phone to ring. They're waiting for something to happen where you're going to go out and make it happen, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. You're going to educate the people. That's what you're bringing to the party. And you're going to establish a relationship. That's the strategy. And therefore, you're going to stand out as the person in the know. And that's what we're going to be talking about. You could do it one at a time. You could go out and knock on doors and talk with people one at a time. Yes, you can do that. But I think that's a more difficult way of doing it. You certainly will take you a lot longer to cover your marketplace. So I feel there's a better way to do it. And that way is we're going to go after a group audience. Bear with me, the kit's coming up. So I'd rather have you standing out in front of a group than one-on-one. You can do one-on-one, of course you can. But I would rather have you select a group in the strategy, and we're going to talk about that now. And it's called the Lunch and Learn program. Lunch and Learn, why is that? Because it's not a meeting. Meetings sound too corporate to me. Lunch and learn. Let's have lunch. Let's learn something. Corporations do that. Clubs do it. Organizations, associations. People enjoy learning something during their downtime. Now, it doesn't have to be during meals. It could be a pizza party. It could be 4:30. It could be tea and crumpets. It could be anything. It could be a coffee break. It could be anything you want. But you're going to be asking to go into a place during a meeting or lunch or a downtime and not upset their apple cart, and you're going to educate them about a subject that they're reading about. Now, river cruising is not inexpensive. We know that. So therefore, people aren't going to just have a knee-jerk response. They're going to do their homework. They're going to do their research. They're going to want to find out what it's all about, and who better than you to tell them what it's all about. Now, I say this without sounding fresh. I guess fresh is the right word. If you can lick a stamp, you can put this strategy into motion. If you can lick a stamp, if you can send something to somebody, which you can, of course you can, don't be stupid, Mike, then you can work this strategy. You can. But don't tell me, please don't ever tell me that you can't do it. Tell me you choose not to do it. River cruising is the real deal. River cruising is the perfect bait to get you to meet more people. And I said this over the last 30 years for the folks who've known me. You've heard it a million times. Your biggest problem is visibility. That's your biggest problem, is visibility. Not enough people know you're alive. They don't know you're alive. How can they do business with you if they don't know you're alive? They can't. So if you just focus on becoming more visible, if you're a good person, which I'm sure you are, you wouldn't be on the phone today if you weren't. If you were a lazy slug, you wouldn't be listening to me. You're a good, hard-working person. You're a professional who wants to be successful. By definition, that's exactly who you are. Well, then you have to go out and do something. Don't tell me you don't want to do it. I mean, you can't do it. Tell me you don't want to do it, because it will work. This will work. This will put money in your pocket if you exercise this activity. And there's nothing to be frightened of. And some of you are probably saying to yourself, well, I'm not going to get in front of a group of people. I can't talk. I can't. I'm not a public speaker. Well, bear with me. You don't have to be. I suggest you do, but you don't have to be. So here it is. You go to MikeMarshev.com river cruising. And then fill the form out, and you're going to see this. This is what you're going to see right on your laptop, right on your desktop. How to sell river cruises. That's the picture. I wanted to show you now what it is you were going to get and how it works. So here we're going to go through the program now. The strategy, in repeat, is to position ourselves as the one in the know. Now I'm going to show you how to do it. On the front page of the download that you're going to get free, this is all free, is you're going to see that picture. And that picture there is a video. You're going to click the button, and I'm going to walk you through the whole system on a video on that URL. So that's what you're going to see is the video. Then you'll see the rationale, why river cruising, why it's a window of opportunity. I'm going to walk you through the strategy, and then give you all of the features in the box, in the kit. Everything you need is going to be right there in front of you on your computer screen. On every page, up on top and on the bottom, you're going to see those links. You're going to see home, letters, handouts, presentation, questions, skills, cities, rivers, photos, videos, quizzes, and script. Now, on every page, this is what you're going to see. And what you're going to do, and I strongly recommend you do it if you decide to follow the strategy or not, that's up to you. I can't make you do it. But please, please have enough confidence in yourself. Please have enough respect in your career to give me 60 minutes. Give yourself, not me, you're not giving me anything. Give yourself 60 minutes to go to that website and look at this. Why? Because you are going to learn something. And if it's not river cruising, plug in Bermuda, plug in Alaska, plug in Disney World, plug in whatever you want. But learn the system and read the letters, the handout. See what I'm doing, and you are going to become a better professional. So on every page, you're going to see those links. So let's hit the letters link, for example. I'm going to hit the letters link. Well, here's what I'm going to see on the letters link. The first thing I see is an audio track there. Listen to Mike. And I'm going to explain that page with that audio link. Now, the audio is about 60 seconds. It's not long. It's just a little sound bite of what it is you're going to see. So you click letters. You're going to come to this page. You're going to listen to the sound bite. It's going to take 60 seconds. And you're going to read this very important blue and red paragraph. And what I wanted to remind you was that when you download examples or templates from this kit, if you download a PDF file, it will immediately appear in front of you. You just click the button and bingo, there's the PDF file. Then save it to a folder that you know how to do on your computer. Get it off of this screen and onto your own folder, your own system. But when you download a doc file, a DOC, you won't see it in front of you as quick. You won't see it. It's going to be downloading it to, I think it's called a zip file or somewhere else on your desktop. That's where you're going to get it from. So you click the button on my screen, a doc file will go to a downloadable file on your computer desktop. The PDF file you'll see right away. I just wanted to call that to your attention so you're not looking for it. Now, the reason I did that, I did a PDF so you could see it quickly and see what it looks like. But then I took the examples and put them into a doc file, DOC, doc file, who cares what the letters are. But I did that so you then could edit them. You didn't have to reinvent the wheel. You didn't have to rewrite the PDF file because you won't be able to edit the PDF file unless you have special software, which you don't care about. So the doc file you can edit. You can cut and paste and make it your own. So I hope that's clear. PDF, you'll see it. Just get an idea. The doc file, download it to your desk and save it to yourself. So there's the letters. And underneath the letters, I gave you an example of a Google search. To how, we have to go, if we're going to go talk to somebody, if we're going to go invite somebody to a party, who are we going to talk to? Well, Here's what I did in the form of an example here. I took my zip code, which was in Delray Beach, Florida. You'll see it right here. It's 33445. I took my zip code, and then I said, well, groups of people. They hang out in companies and associations and organizations and clubs, and those are all names where people get together. So I plugged in the word association. So in the Google search bar, I put 33445, the plus sign, associations. I would suggest you put your zip code and then the plus sign and put clubs, companies, organizations, whatever you want to put in there. And then you will get something, you'll see something as a result of that Google search. And in my case, for example, what it gave me was the Delray Beach Golf Club. But look, forget the golf club for right now, but look, the address is there and the phone number is there. So in 3 seconds, I'm going to have 10 or 15 or 20 or 100 possible places where I can call. Now, this is where the activity comes in. You could just say, dear sir. You could just say, dear meeting planner. That's not it. You got to say, dear Mike. You got to find out who is making the decisions of bringing in speakers to the organization or bringing in guests. So you call that phone number and say, I'd like to send some information. Who should I address my letter to? They will tell you. Now you're getting a database that has some meat to it because you have the address, you have the phone number, and you have the contact. And then you send a letter, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Now, beware. Don't call me up and say, Mike, I did that, and all I did was get bogus responses. You're going to get some driver's license offices and things like that. So don't tell me you're not. I know you are. But the easy and the quick way, zip code companies, zip code organizations, zip code clubs, I said associations. But that's the way you can build up a target audience quickly. Okay, so now we have a list of 10 people that we can invite our services to. Down on that letters page, I'm giving you the letter. I'm not telling you to go write a letter. I'm saying, here's the letter. You just click here and use my letter. If you don't like my letter, click the doc and edit it. Make your own letter. But here's what we're doing, folks. You have to understand this. We are going to write a letter to local organizations saying, hey, I have a 20-minute presentation I'd love to come in and talk to your group about during one of your next meetings. It's about river cruising, the hottest trend in the cruise industry. They will say yes or they will say no. But you don't care. You don't care. You had a legitimate reason to go into their world. I have something of value. I'd like to share it with you, yes or no. If they say yes, we'll go to the next step. I'll show you in a second. But if they say no, you still have positioned yourself far away from any of your competitors because your competitors are not doing this. Your competitors are not saying, let me share what I know with your group. This is an interesting topic. Let me share it with you. And if they say yes or no, you don't care. If I invite you over to my house for dinner and you say, gee, Mike, thank you very much, but I can't make it, well, I still get the benefit of asking you. Hey, Mike, Mike's a nice guy. He invited us over for dinner. So you still get the benefit, and you still position yourself as the company in the know. So on the letter template, you have right over here the PDF. You can see the letter, the PDF, click here, or the doc file, which is editable, click here. Okay, so you have it. And in the kit, you have the sales letter, you have a follow-up letter, and you have a future seed letter. Now, the future seed letter is written to the people who say no. Well, that's okay, but now I'm going to send you another letter of contact saying, well, down the road, I might be able to help you in another way. So you're establishing visibility to an organization. Hopefully, they invite you in, because when they invite you in, now you establish a relationship with 30 people or 40 people or 60 people. So that's the strategy. And then let's go to the next slide. There's the letter, dated January 2013. Dear Mr. Smith, today's definition, you can read it yourself, but the letter is in your kit. And I want you to go to the kit, click the buttons, read it, then you'll either connect with it or you won't. So now we go to another link on the top of the page. Remember, on every page there has one, the handout. Again, you have a little audio from me right there, and it's about 1 minute. It's just a little explanation of how the system works, and then I give you a sample handout of something that you could hand people during this meeting, because you want your contact information, you want some highlights of what you talked about, you want them to bring something home, so if they want to contact you, it makes it easy. So there's a handout in your kit. What if they ask me in, Mike? What if they say, yes, good idea, come on in, you have 20 minutes. Now what do I do? Well, what do? You click the presentation tab on your How to Sell River Cruising Kit, and it brings you to the presentation. And there in the presentation, again, you have a Listen to Mike audio. That'll explain how it works. And then you have 2 click buttons. One click button, well, there's the audio there on the left. One click button brings you to a PowerPoint presentation. Let's see, the PowerPoint's right down the bottom is the PowerPoint. Now, the reason I did it this way, let me explain. The reason why I made the kit this way is because it's very difficult to embed music and do it this way in a PowerPoint and then send it over to you on the internet. So I gave you a simple PowerPoint presentation that you can add or delete or edit or do whatever you want, but it's a PowerPoint presentation. This next one, though, is a movie. It comes in the form of an MP4 file. Now that one you have to download, and depending on your internet speed, it'll download in maybe 4 minutes or 6 minutes. I don't know. It takes a little while because it's a movie. I want you to go there right away and click it and get it onto your computer. Get it off of here, off the internet, onto your hard drive, because then it'll play quickly. You don't have to download it again. You download it once. And what this is, it's a 9-minute movie of you going down a river cruise, played to music. The band was called La Strada. They are the actual music that I heard on my river cruise. So it's good violin-based music. But you play the movie, you don't have to say anything. You can play 1 minute, 3 minutes, 6 minutes, or 9 minutes in front of a group. They're going to come up and buy a cabin just by seeing what's going on. So the movie is embedded already for you in the presentation page. Why am I telling you this? So when you go to download your kit at mikemarshev.com/river cruising, and most of you already have. I think about 400 of you already have. There's about 200 who haven't yet. But you'll understand what's in the kit. Go to presentations, download the movie, and you're all set. Now, with that being said, let's address the point that, Mike, I'm not a public speaker, Mike. What if they say yes? I'll have a heart attack. I'll have a nervous breakdown if I have to go and talk to more than 2 people at one time. Well, here's what you do. You set up the meeting, which is as easy as licking a stamp and making a phone call. Then, if you get nervous, if it's just not your bailiwick, if you just don't want to do this, every cruise organization, okay, AMA, Viking, Avalon, Uniworld, Tauk, whoever else I missed, they have business development managers who will be delighted to come in and give the presentation for you. If you set it up, they'll come in. Now, it's not, to me, it's not the best way to do it. I want you to be the person delivering the presentation, but they are there waiting to help you. So if you need that, this is a no-brainer. If you can lick a stamp, you can do this. People will take you up on this. And the presentation is already there. Let's go to the next one. Oh, a note on presentations. I downloaded slides off the internet. Now, this is just kind of a presentation 201 point. The bigger you make a slide or a picture, the more fuzzy it could get if it wasn't produced in the right format, and we'll call it dots per inch. On a computer screen, 72 is a satisfactory number, 72 dots per inch. But if you blow that up onto a screen, you're looking for trouble. Okay, it's just going to get fuzzy. So I would suggest you go to your river company of choice and ask them to give you uh, uh, slides that are like 300 dots per inch. Better slides for your PowerPoint presentation. Just make sure you have good quality pictures when you're putting together your PowerPoint. Now, if it's on a computer screen, you can use the ones I have. Like this one right here on a computer screen. I mean, it looks to me that's crystal clear, but I'm afraid if you blow that up real big, it won't be. So what if they ask me questions, Mike? I don't really know the topic yet. Well, in your kit, click on questions and answers. Listen to the audio presentation that I have, which is about 60 seconds. Click the button, and you're going to have about 50 questions that people could ask you. All I want you to do is read through the questions. You'll start internalizing them. Okay, you'll start read I know the answer to that. Go to the next one. Read the questions, read the answers, and you will become a river specialist before too long. So that's under the question link. Under the selling skills link, I have some videos in my business that I included the videos on eye contact, enthusiasm, persistence, speed, and motivation, and I put them on. And unfortunately, when I grabbed these, some of these look like I ate some rotten hot dog or something, but excuse the facial expressions. But these are videos that will help you under the selling skills button, that will just help you focus on some skills that are very, very important. Okay, persistence, enthusiasm, and eye contact. So that's what you're going to find under the selling skills. There's a cities and rivers button. Again, an audio explanation right there for you. Quick, down, simple, easy. But I decided not to reinvent the wheel in the cities and rivers. Reason being is that you don't have the time, and there's other places that do it so much better than I can. So you just Google the cities, the towns, the rivers that you're interested in, and either through Google or Wikipedia, you'll get all the information. So there's information here. There's an audio track here, but it's not really detailed. I'm not going to give you a geography lesson in this How to Sell River kit. Under the photos, I have a bunch of photos you can use, but keep in mind they're probably mostly 72 DPI, and you'll need 300. So use them, check them out, make sure you're satisfied with them. Don't take them just because they're there, but you do have a little library. In most river companies, river cruising companies, they have slides, or pictures, good pictures that you can use, and I'm sure they'll be happy to give them to you. Under the video section, there's a video tab. All the videos that were in the kit, I put in one page just for your convenience. No big deal there. So that's what you see on the videos. And under the quizzes, I took the old Jeopardy game. I took rivers, countries, cities, and ships, 1 through 500. It's a PowerPoint presentation, so you download it. This will also download, I think, onto your desktop in a zip file. So it's not going to pop up instantly when you click the button. You've got to go to your desktop and get the download. And it's a game. But what happens is I guarantee you, when you click rivers for 100, you may not know the answer, but after you read the answer, you'll know it. So there's, let's see, there's 20 questions here that you will know solidly after you go through this fun little quiz. And if there's questions from the audience that you think, hey, Mike, this should be on the quiz, send me an email and I'll put it on. We can also have another quiz, and we can have 4 or 5 of these if we want to build this kit up. The last button on your Selling River Cruise Kit, which you're going to download at mikemarshev.com/river cruising. For those who haven't, you're going to see this under script. Here's what I want you to do. This is important. I want you to read this document, but I want you to read it while I'm talking to you. You click the audio, and I am going to recite this paragraph to you. Then you're going to click the second audio, and I'm going to recite the next paragraph. So you're going to read it and listen at the same time. And then, get this, I want you to do it 5 times. Not once, not 3 times, not 4 times, 5. I want 5 times minimum. I want you to read and listen to this script. Reason being, you will internalize the information. It'll be part of you. You'll understand it. And when people talk to you, you will know it. So this is called homework. This is called research. This is called practice. This differentiates the amateurs from the professionals. Go to this particular script and read it 5 times, and you will internalize the information, because I'll be talking it to you, and you'll be listening, reading it yourself. So that's how it'll become you. And now, you're not going to recite it. Don't memorize this, folks. For heaven's sakes, you have better things to do than that. Don't memorize it. Just read it and listen 5 times, and you'll internalize it, and it'll make sense to you. And some of you, like me, you might take 6 times or 10 times, but you'll finally get it. So what we're trying to do, thanks to AMA Waterways, who really stimulated my thinking here and supported this project, that we wanted to make it easy for the travel industry to write a letter to local organizations to say, hey, I have a 20-minute program. Let me come in and share with you what I know about river cruising. We gave you the kit that you can go in. You got the letters there for you. You know how to find the organizations in your marketplace. You probably have a bunch of ideas yourself. You then send the letters. You know how to find the people. You then have the presentations, the PowerPoint, the movie. You have the answers to the questions that people might ask. You have an idea of how to deliver a handout. You have selling skills. You have information on rivers and the cities. And you have the quiz and you have the script. So the whole kit is there for you. And it's yours. It's complimentary. It's absolutely complimentary. And the system, the logical system, is what can we offer local people that they will invite us in and talk about. That's the key. That's the strategy. And the reason we're using river cruising is because it's hot. Because people are going to do it. They're going to do it more. It's going to be, quote, unquote, an easy sell for the people who want it. You don't want to sell it to people who don't want it. I mean, that's crazy. You don't want to talk anybody into it. You want to introduce them to it. And it'll sell itself. So that is what I wanted to take your time this afternoon, because you're all going to download that kit and say, what is this all about? I wanted to just take a minute and walk through what it was all about and how to use it. So that's what you're going to see on the homepage, how to sell river cruises. It's a system. It's a marketing system. It's a marketing gambit. It's a marketing tactic. It's a marketing strategy that will work for the people who lick the stamps. If you don't expect it to work, because it's not going to work. So therefore, there's the activity, not the work. Now, these are things that we do in the inner circle. These are ideas. These are concepts. This is what we do. And there's something I've told people, travel agents, since day one. There are 2 kinds of people in the whole world: people you can help and people you can't help. Your job is to go out and find the people you can help. Don't talk your way into anything. You can help them or you can't. You're going to find the people you can help. And I do the same thing. I want to find people I can help. If you want to grow your business, I think I can help you. And the easiest, fastest, surest way is a low-cost membership in what I call the inner circle. So you're going to get some more information as time goes on. I'm not going to spend any more of your time today, but I want you to know that you can have more fun growing your business if you just step out of your comfort zone. And it's better to do so with a bunch of people who think like you and talk like you and act like you and are suffering and the same setbacks that you do. In the inner circle, we help each other grow while we're having fun. So you'll hear more about that. I want to thank Travel Research Online, the Travel Institute. I want to thank AMA Waterways. A big shout out to Nolan Burris for helping me this afternoon. Nolan, have we had any questions that we wanted to address before we hang up?
I've got a bunch of them for you, but Mike, they're all ones that you can deal with later. They're more about sending a copy of this and a copy of that. So I'll hand them all off to you when we're done.
Okay. Well, I wanted to thank folks here. See, the problem with a program like this is for those who know me, I like to have fun. I like to enjoy myself, but I wanted you to understand the mechanics of what it is you'd be looking for. Listen, I don't care if you sell one river cruiser, you sell 50,000 of them. I don't care. I just want you to be successful, and I want you to have fun in the best industry. Look, you're not selling automobiles. You're not selling computers. You're not selling root canals, for heaven's sakes. You're selling Disney. You're selling honeymoons. You're selling river cruises down the Danube River to Budapest. I mean, you are in the best business in the whole world. Why? Because every single person has an interest in the subject matter. You're not selling dentist drills. People are interested in what you do. Now, your enthusiasm is going to make a huge difference. Your attitude, and Nolan and I were talking earlier, we're frightened that people are getting a little bit some rejected or dejected, or it's not working as fast as they want it to work, so they're starting to get depressed. Ladies and gentlemen, you didn't invent anything. Any problem you have, you did not invent it. It's going on in every industry. But for heaven's sake, this is a good industry. We just have to work our way through it. Your biggest problem is not enough people know you're alive. That's your biggest problem. You're not visible enough. And when you are visible, maybe, I'm just guessing here, maybe you're out moping. Maybe you're shooting yourself in the foot. I don't know. But you bring your personality, you bring your subject matter, you bring your opportunities out into the marketplace. You don't care if they buy it or not. What do you care? You're out there providing the service. This is what's available to you. If you're interested, I can help you make it happen. I can help you avoid useless mistakes. That's what I do. That's what you can do. And you have to get up and get out and make more people glad they know you. Yes, Nolan?
I know we're right at stopping time, but we actually did get a question. Have you got time, or do you want to handle it private?
Yeah, let's give it a shot, because if I don't, I'm going to throw it at you, Nolan.
All right. Well, we probably only have time for about one now, but this came from Marcia Hurley, and she says, "Hey, Mike, how do you qualify travelers for one river cruise line versus another? You got any pointers on that, or do you want to take that one privately with Marcia?"
No, because that's the second time. I'll address that, because people say, how do you select the right cruise line, the right riverboat company? Well, let me answer it this way, and it's the only way I know how, Nolan. I have only ridden on one.
Okay.
So therefore, my experience is on one. It happened to be AMA Waterways, and it was absolutely 100% perfect, delightful. Now, I say to myself, how could the other ones be any better, is what I say. And to me, they could not be. And I went back to my tongue-in-cheek. I mean, how many steaks can you eat? How shiny does your doorknob have to be? How fast does your bed have to be made? I mean, when people do it right, they do it right. And it's all about people. I'll tell you why. Because Vienna is Vienna. The Danube is the Danube. A floating, something that floats and going down the river, if it's clean and if it's well kept, they're all the same.
This is one of the cool things about river cruising, is it's far more about the destination than it is just being on the boat.
Well, that's perfectly said, Nolan. I mean, it's you and the towns and the local people. But that being said, to me, the big thing is the people. And I want you, a fish stinks from its head down. That's what I want to say. And that means that management of a company makes all the difference in the world. And in my particular case, and this is not about selling AMA, I'm not selling AMA, but their management is superior, and every single person on that ship was superior. So if it was me, I know who I would push, okay? But that being said, you have to go and get to know the BDMs, and you have to take some fam trip. You got to go do it yourself, but I don't think you can go wrong. I just don't think you could go wrong. But I haven't been on 17 of them, Nolan, so I can't give a personal opinion.
Well, I love to wax eloquently about being a consultant. I'm almost obsessed with that particular subject. But just one little tip that might help Marcia a little bit here is, how do you differentiate between the ocean cruises right now? Well, you find out what the experiences of each one are by talking to your BDM, by looking at, so what's the dining experience, what's the shore excursion experience, what's the experience of the cabins. You just got to learn that stuff. And then when you're talking to your client, you got to ask them, what kind of experience are you looking for here? Are you looking for an upscale kind of thing, a little more on the luxury side? Do you like something a little bit more mass market? Do you want more time spent in the ports, or do you want more time spent on the ships themselves? That's consulting, and you either know it off the top of your head, you research it, or you get to know those BDMs and become their best friend and drill them for that kind of information.
See, that's what I would think. Get to know the people. You know, you do business with people you like, but to me, it's almost a toss-up. I mean, I've heard people say, I prefer this, I prefer this. It's all a personal thing.
You know, it's because river cruising is kind of a new thing. It's not totally new, but it's just suddenly exploded. Everybody is trying to outdo everybody by making it more awesome than the other. And so you almost can't go wrong right now. Don't know how long it'll last, but right now
I think that's one of my fears, Nolan, is that they start playing one-upsmanship and they start moving towards the cruise line. You know, I mean, who has bingo? I don't want bingo. You know, who has the midnight disco? I don't want midnight discos. I don't want that stuff because it's such a unique experience. As you said, it's experiential with the local towns. It's the country. It's the cobblestone streets, and I don't want to see them to go too far to try to keep everybody happy, because I think they'll water down the product. But that's my opinion. That's my feeling.
Yeah, it's a different sell. With an ocean cruise, you really do have to talk more about the ship and the onboard service, and that still matters with a river cruise. But a river cruise is more like a floating tour in a way. It's more about destinations and what you're going to see.
Well, the music is different. It's local music. It's great local music, and
local food.
You know, the food. It's local food and local wines. It's so special. It's so different. But I'm thinking of people like Ireland. And I go to bed and breakfast because, and I think I can say this, is that you go down to breakfast and you're sitting next to a couple from Germany, and the next table is a couple from France, so the next table is a couple from Austria, and it's just a delightful experience. And you have that same feeling on a riverboat cruise because it's small. There's one dining room. You don't have 58 dining rooms to pick from. You have one dining room, and they're people from all over, and they're neat people. I'll tell you why. Because slugs, lazy slugs. I didn't invent this. I did some research, Nolan. You can probably contradict me here. But I found out lazy slugs, boring lazy slugs, do not go on riverboat cruises.
That just might be the most brilliant thing I've heard you say in a long time, Mike.
I mean, interesting, well-traveled, polite, cool people go on river cruises. So if you don't want to meet those people, then you might want to go down to, take a Caribbean cruise or something. I don't know.
So travel agents, your advice of the day, go get yourself a river cruise before the slugs discover them.
Yeah, you don't want the lazy, boring, whining slugs. Yeah, you don't want, and they don't take them. I'm telling you, they stay away. I think it might be an unwritten rule. No slugs allowed.
Well, I didn't mean to take you so far over time, but I'm looking at the attendance list and nobody hung up. So maybe we should just start doing some stand-up comedy from this point forward.
Well, you know what they do? Well, I know the old trick, Nolan. They take the phone, put it on a hook, and then they go take a walk around the block.
Well,
but any event, what I want you to do, folks, is go to MikeMarshev.com. If you haven't done it, it's /river cruising. Download this thing, this kit. Go through it, look at it, massage it, internalize it, have fun with it, make it your own, use my stuff. I don't care what you do, but get out of your comfort zone and lick some stamps, and either you give the presentation, which you have there in the kit, or get your BDM involved. But this is the perfect bait, and the timing is perfect. The commissions are right. This is the perfect storm. And I want to really say thank you to AMA. This is not an AMA commercial, but they supported this right from the giddy up. and they said, Mike, go do it. They gave me the green light. They didn't dot my I's. They didn't say don't use the word slug, and it was all mine. If you have a complaint, don't go to them. They have no nothing. This is me. This is all Mike. So, Nolan, I think that's all we have to say today.
That's it.
Had a good time, folks. My email is mike@mikemarshev.com. And incidentally, every 30 days you're going to get a sales tip now. So when you get one, don't be upset, because I've just put you onto a list, and it's a 2-minute little stinger, kind of like my little audio clips, but just to remind you that you're in a good business, you're a good person, you're a hardworking person. You got to go out and make more people glad they know you, and that's how the game is played. So with that, Nolan, thank you again, and I'm going to sign off.
All right, buddy.
Thanks for your help. Thanks, everybody.
Good luck, everyone.
Thanks for giving us the time this afternoon, folks. I know you're busy. Bye.